Good day once again, my lovely students. As we have been rolling in previous times, I want to welcome you to Vondabaic Academy, Owerri. And it's, the English is time once again for the English language lesson. Please, I want you to get fully connected with rapt attention. As we've been doing, please, if there's anything around you that will get you distracted in any way, just momentarily put it aside. Please, that's the candid advice from me. Now, as we've been treating the previous lesson, simply with figures of figurative expressions or figures of speech in reading passages. That remains the topic. And this is the fourth in the series. We have considered three previously treated figures of speech, include simile, metaphor, and personification, just for your reminder, these three. And here we are faced with the fourth one, which happens to be personification. If I want to, just like I reminded you in the previous class, I want to see more of your conversation. I want to see more of your conversation in the conversation segment. I want to see more of your questions and response to the already given self-study questions, because this is where I get to know if you have been following, where you have difficulties or challenges, and then they'll be attended to there, right there. So please, maximize that opportunity. Make good use of that opportunity. Okay, now we have personification to deal with. It is another frequently used figure of speech. Like I told you, I'll be dealing with the frequently used figures of speech, and this is the fourth one. Now we have personification before us. What does personification entail? This is a figure of speech in which an inanimate object, that is to say, that is by the word inanimate, we mean something without life. Something without life. Now, this figure of speech gives an inanimate object as an object without life, something without life, an object as if it were a person or a living being. Okay? Yes. It gives this inanimate object a quality that presents it like what? A living being. Yes. So let's study this example to understand better, to have a clearer picture. We have example 1. Roosevelt pulled his wire and played his card in such a way that fortune could befriend him. Roosevelt pulled his wire and played his card in such a way that fortune could befriend him. Yes. That statement has an obvious giving or imposition of characteristics or peculiarities to a particular thing that is not in the same capacity with Roosevelt as a human being. And that I'm still going to point out. Why this particular statement qualifies as what personification? It's not just because we don't want to construct the statement, but there are elements, just like I told you when we were considering hyperbole, metaphor, and then elements. All these figures of speech have their elements that make them what they are. And when you are able to rightly identify them, they stand before you is already solved. Okay. Roosevelt pulled his wires and played his card in such a way that fortune could defend him. I'm still coming to what this was personification. Now number 2 says, Nigeria as the giant of Africa is known for her land mass and agricultural produce. Nigeria as the giant of Africa, is known for land mass and agricultural produce. Again, we have another instance of what? Personification here. The third one, a few years ago, the zoological garden of the University of Ibadan was a crowd puller. Another instance of personification is carrying us at the face. In this three examples, what accounts for the presence of personification in these two individual or respective examples? In the above cited case, certain elements of the expression account for the existence of the personification, such as I'm about to point out now. Please, this is the point where you need to pay rapt attention, just like you did, but I want you to maximize it. Okay, in case you said review it, maximize it. Don't let it review it, said increase it. Okay, now we have coming back to this example as to what accounts for the existence of personification in what each of them. Now, example 1, which reads, I go back to it. Example 1 reads, Rufus pulled his wire and played his card in such a way that fortune could befriend him. Okay, now let's analyze it. Remember we're talking about sentence analysis, sentence interpretation, sentence analysis. Yes, we have to do that. We have to do that in order to fully understand the operation of these figures of speech. Yes. Okay? Yes. Now, just like you take time to solve your mathematical work, the mathematical sum, and the mathematical exercise given to you. Do the same thing. In English language, we analyze sentences given to you to get at the root of what is involved. Example 1, there we find fortune could befriend him. Fortune could befriend him. Here, fortune is presented as an attractive lady who came to Roosevelt with the ambience of intimate friendship. See, look at this again. Roosevelt pulled his wires and played his cards in such a way that fortune could befriend him. Fortune here is not a human being, but it's presented like what? An attractive lady that came to befriend Roosevelt. See what we are saying? That makes it what? Personification. Going by the definition I gave you about personification, go back to it. Go back to it and understand where we are coming from. This is a figure of speech in which an inanimate object, that is something without life, is addressed as if it were a person or a living being. And in this example, this example 1, which we are still analyzing, fortune could befriend him. The fortune here is not a human being, it's an inanimate object that is what? That is addressed as if it were a person. As if it were a living being. That's what makes this personification. I hope you are following. I want you to believe that, yes, I'm communicating. If you are following, you are paying enough attention, you will get the lecture properly. So here, fortune is presented as an attractive lady who came to Roosevelt with the ambience of intimate friendship. That is for example 1. In example 2, let's go to example 2. Example 2 says, Nigeria as the giant of Africa. Nigeria as the giant of Africa is known for her landmark and agricultural produce. You can see there. So, in example 2, Nigeria is presented as a living being with obvious features. Presented as a living being with obvious features. Obvious features using the word her large landmark. Her large landmark and agricultural produce. Nigeria is a country. Okay? Not a human being. Now, she's presented as what? As a living being with an obvious feature, an outstanding feature of what? Protecting a large landmass, okay, with agricultural produce. Alright, please. Let me revise our board. Okay? Okay? Alright, we are back. We are back. So let's get to that example. Nigeria as the giant of Africa. Nigeria as the giant of Africa is known for her land, mass, and agricultural produce. So, Nigeria is presented here as a nation with obvious features, using the word land, large land mass, and agricultural produce. So that's what makes it specification because of those words. A large land mass, and agricultural produce. In example 3 now, let's look at what example 3 says. Look at it before you. A few years ago, the zoological garden of the University of Ibadan was a cow puller. A few years ago, the zoological garden of the University of Ibadan was a cow puller. Okay, let's come to the sentence analysis now. For example 3, the zoological garden is personified. Again, like Nigeria was personified in example 2 and fortune in example 1. Nigeria here is personified using the word, zoological garden in example 3 is personified using the word what? A crowd puller. A crowd puller. These are vital parts of the expression. Essential part of the expression that what accounts for the instance of personification in this respective word example. That is what I've considered pointing out to you. Just like I did when we were handling the hyperbole, just like I did when we were handling the metaphor and the simile respectively. Yes. That's the key to all these figures of speech. You must identify the word element in this sentence that make out for what the existence of this respective word figures of speech. Yes, we are successfully done that for personification in these 3 examples. But for avoidance of possible doubt, let me recap before I come to the self-study. In example 1, we have fortune could befriend him. Now, I want you to understand something. We have Roosevelt pulled his wire and played his card. We can add well there to make this word sound complete. Roosevelt pulled his wire and played his card well. In this expression I just made, we don't have anything that comes close to specification in it. Talk less or talk more of what? Having specification. Roosevelt pulled his wire and played his card well. No specification in it. I hope you are getting something. Please. I keep reiterating, make sure you are listening with rapt attention. Because if we are at the nitty-gritty of this word, of this lesson. Okay? Alright. Now, that expression I just made now, let's contrast it with what we have on the board. Now, Roosevelt pulled his wire and played his card in such a way that fortune could befriend him. Now we have personification. What part makes this expression personification? It's not the entire expression that accounts for personification, but the element that brings in personification, which is what contained in the entire sentence, is what makes it come close to personification. So it's what makes it an instance of personification, please. Now, Roosevelt pulled his wires and played his card in such a way that fortune could befriend him. Now, in such a way that fortune could befriend him. That's what makes it personification. Look at what I just pointed out. That fortune could befriend him. That is where personification comes to play. And fortune here, like I told you, I think earlier on, is presented like as an attractive word, maybe who came to Roosevelt, who happens to be a human being, with the aim of intimate friendship, the aim the intention, the disposition, the ambience of intimate what? Friendship. Now, let's go back to example 2. Nigeria as the giant of Africa is no. I thought that there is nothing close to verification in this was a class statement I just made. Nigeria is as the giant of Africa is no. Is no. There is nothing close to verification in it. Because the elements containing what verification has not been included in the statement. Now let's contrast it with what we have on the board. Nigeria as the giant of Africa is known for that is the board should respond good. Her landmass. Okay, yes, we have it here. Just look at it. Her large landmass. Okay, or her landmass and agricultural produce. Her landmass and agricultural produce. That is what makes the specification. Unlike the Nigeria giant of Africa is what? No, there's nothing specification. Nothing about specification here. But when we now include her what? Look at it. Her large landmass and agricultural produce. There. That's now what brings what specification to line. I hope you are following. Yes, please. I'll still give you something to do, self-study, and you still have the opportunity, like I said initially when I was there, about commenting the lesson program. You have to maximize the conversation segment. Properly maximize the conversation segment. Throw your questions in. Affect the self-study. Let me know how well you understood this lesson. That is the high point of this online class. If I only do the talking without getting feedback or responses from you, how well do I know you've been following? How sure am I have communicated? I have what? I have imparted knowledge. So you must do your own part. Okay? Alright. So, we have the third example. Sorry, before coming to the study, we have the third example. A few years ago, the zoological garden of the University of Ibadan was in Karapula. Okay? Let me rephrase it as this way. A few years ago, the zoological garden of the University of Ibadan existed. Okay, was well known. A few years ago, the zoological garden of the University of Ibadan was well known. Was well known. We don't have any specification in this expression I just made. This statement I just uttered. There's nothing specification about it. Until we now contrast it to what we have on the board. A few years ago, the zoological garden of the University of Ibadan, not was well known this time, but around, but it was a crowd puller. Yes, compare the two. The first one, there's nothing specification about because there's no attribute. Let me say it was well known, yes. A place can be well known, that doesn't make it what? Specification. But when you now say a crowd puller, okay, let's go there. Look at it. Now bringing in the word, a crowd puller, that's what makes it what? Specification. Now a crowd puller, that's one that attracts, someone that attracts what? Crowd. You know, human beings that are capable of attracting crowd. When someone is what? Popular. Automatically is a crowd puller anywhere he goes. Okay? Yes. Renowned evangelists, celebrities. Do you understand? Yes. Actors, musicians, they are all celebrities. They come on that. Because in the entertainment industry. And then renowned pastors of large congregations. They are crowd pullers. But here, they are saying the zoological garden of the University of Ibadan was a crowd puller a few years back. Alright, now let's come to the self-study. Let's go to the self-study. Now we have our self-study here. Generate 3 concrete expressions of your own to exemplify the use of personification. Haven't given you mine, come up with yours. 3 concrete what? Expressions of your own to show the use of personification, to exemplify the use of personification. On this note, I have to bring the lecture or the lesson to a conclusive word, a conclusive and a logical end. I'll see you some other time. Let's meet at the conversation session. Thank you.